Hello, thank you so much for joining today's call. We're just going to give just one more minute here and we will get everyone that wants to join on, and we will begin here in just one moment. Okay. All righty, well, let's go ahead and get started here. I'm pretty excited for today. I really cannot believe how how fast the year has gone by. I've kind of had this conversation earlier this week. I was saying that I felt like last year was 10 or 15 years piled into one, and this year it just completely went way fast and went by past. So what I'm going to actually do is I am going to, for those who, if this is your first digital sales training, for those who have been here, we give a chance for a $100 gift card. I'm going to put the link for that giveaway in the chat right now. And that way you can all enter. And then just a heads up with this, we wanted to, first off, say thank you so much for being here on today's call. But when you enter this $100 giveaway, at the very end of the entry form there, it should either direct you to a new form, and if it automatically doesn't redirect you to that form, just click on View Success URL, and it's going to be a new form to ask you some information. We're going to send you out a Starbucks gift card for being on today's call. So we want to make sure that you are hooked up there. And again, I appreciate the time that you have taken out of your day. And honestly, this is really exciting for me. So, like I said here on today's agenda, goodbye 2021 and hello 2022. There's going to be kind of a recap of throughout the year of some of the things that we've released. I'm going to talk about understanding your sponsors and advertisers' goals and equals cash flow, which we all know if we're hitting those goals, we can continue to grow revenue more and more for our stations. So, and then we're going to discuss more of the packaging and pricing of Aptivada, because there's a lot of questions on, okay, well, what can we do with the product? And and once you find out, then it goes, well, okay, well then how much can we, how much are we realistically able to ask for? And so I hope to give a breakdown of percentages as well as dollar amounts, so that way you are kind of aware of what's going on. And interesting enough, the comments are made like, well, what about my market? It's a smaller market or it's a larger market, and that will be a little bit of difference. But I'm seeing the same amount of success in regards to like the percentages side of things, and just in regards to growing revenue across the board. So really, this is a platform and a product that you can really use to help grow your station's engagement as well as that revenue piece. So, and again, please feel free to enter that link. I did put that in the chat. If you have questions, I'm going to make sure that we do a reminder at the end and give more ample time, because we do want to give those Starbucks gift cards. Again, once you fill out the form, it should automatically redirect you. If it doesn't, click on View Success URL. Okay, so let's jump into this. So first things first, I can't believe we're discussing this, but we are going to quickly just talk about some Q1 opportunities. I'm not going to deep dive into that because the next digital sales training will probably go into more. Except for these national promotions that are coming up are just so close, I wanted to at least mention them. So this is 2022's national promotions calendar. I highly recommend participating in these national promotions. We have the New Year, New Cash, Big Game Score coming up, Cash for Couples, some great opportunities right out the gate that you can participate in. I highly encourage that if you do participate in the national promotions, is to take them and make them your own. And one second here, take them and make them your own. make them a little bit more localized. And so that way, you can kind of help grow on the local engagement side of things. And I've seen the stations that do that, whether it's changing some of the logos or I'm sorry, some of the graphics out, and working with a local advertiser, absolutely crush those type of promotions. So let's see, the link should be, oh, 1 second here. I'm going to do the link one more time. I apologize for some reason. I was just sending it to the host there. So, okay. So the link should be viewable to everyone now. Thank you for the questions in the chat there. I do appreciate that. So it should be in there now. Perfect. Okay. So, oh, jumping around here. Okay. So new year, new cash. I wanted to bring this up because this literally, this starts January 3rd. And I know that right now, that's kind of like crunch time to get this promotion up and going. But again, we do all the heavy lifting in regards to building out the aesthetics of the promotion and the graphics. And we are actually, Aptivada has tied $1,000 cash prize to this that we would pay out. And so this is not something that, you have to find a sponsor to cover that $1,000 on. We would do that. Since it's just right around the corner, I absolutely wanted to make sure that this was on your radar. The promotion run dates, January 3rd until January 31st, and the winner will be announced February 1st. Very straightforward. And I think the deadline on this was December 29th on the cutoff. And so please take advantage of this and participate, even if it's just for local engagement. If you're not able to get someone sold to the promotion, it kind of will help ramp them up to the other promotions that are coming up, which are going to be, in a way, a little bigger, I should say, in regard to the cash prize. So for example, a little bigger, went from $1,000 to $50,000 chance here. This is the big game contest for NFL. Basically, you predict the perfect score for a chance to win of that $50,000. Now that $50,000 is again backed by Aptivada, so pretty awesome. I've seen some stations take this and design their own graphics for it that really incorporated graphics from their advertisers, making it really appear as the advertiser is really being that main sponsor and headline on that. And it helps kind of differentiate yourself from others as well. One lucky entrant on this can correctly predict the final score could possibly win that $50,000. Now this, you have a little bit more time. It doesn't begin until January 31st until February 13th. But it's only for that 2 weeks ish or so, that people would be able to come in and enter. Not too much of a headache on the time frame on in regards to how long it's being ran. So again, pretty easy to implement. And I'd highly suggest participating in this. It's a great promotion. And then we have our cash for couples. This is teetering into the February timeframe. Again, this is going to be $1,000 as well. Great promotion. So for February 1st until February 28th, and then the winners would be announced March 1st. So great, fantastic, Valentine's promotion to participate in. So by the way, if you have any questions on these, we have toolkits available on our ideas.aptivada.com. That's actually where I got these still shots from. There's actually more information for each toolkit that you're not seeing here. It's mostly about what you can do in regards to like the bonus entry forms and whatnot like that, depending on what the promotion type is. But it's nice to have that available, and it even comes with the graphics, which again, if you have someone in-house or if you wanted to change it up a little bit, you could do so. It's not required. It's just sometimes it's nice to do that. Now, jumping into Basketball Mayhem, I personally think this is one of my favorite promotions outside of some of the other promotions that we do throughout the year. This one is a chance for $1 million bracket, and surprise again, Aptivada would cover that prize, so you don't have to get that covered by anybody else. Recently, even with the pro football pick'em, I've seen stations that are not a sports station that would not typically run this type of promotion, have seen some quite a bit of success and engagement, especially since it's one of their first that they've ran. as you do more and more of these, you can grow kind of more of a niche group of people. Again, if you're not a sports station, so there is still a lot of excitement around these type of events. This pre-promote comes up February 1st until the 28th, so it gives you plenty of time, and then March 1st until April 5th. I know this is a bit more detailed than what I wanted to jump into, but I wanted to show kind of like an idea of what this would look like with like name inclusions on, on air, name mentions, those type of things. And again, this information is readily available in those toolkits on our Idea Studio. So now, as I mentioned, understanding the sponsor's goals and in achieving those goals is going to lead to more revenue. And that's not even on the quick dollar of it, the quick sell, like, yeah, I just got the sale, congratulations, that's great. But that's when you're starting to look at that repeating revenue, that net repeating revenue, or NRR, some might say. And honestly, that's going to come down to executing the goals of your advertiser and sponsor. We're not in it just for that quick one-time sale and be done. We want to, from month to month, have them as a repeating customer. And in order to do so, it's, outside of just the relationship and fellowship building that you do between you and your advertiser that you're working with, by achieving these goals, having that relationship is great and all, but when you start achieving these goals, that's when you're going to start impact some legitimacy to what you're doing. Like, for example, like increasing foot traffic, that we have a geolocation ad field where you would put in the latitude and longitude coordinates of a particular location, and you can have from someone's mobile device go to that location and click I'm here and basically check in. Huge opportunity there. I know, your brains are probably thinking like, oh man, I have dealerships I work with, I have these like mom and pop stores that I work with that we could push, if you're wanting to do on-sites and whatnot and lives. I know things get a little bit tricky with COVID here and there, but with that in mind, there are still some businesses at brick and mortar that are on the digital side of things that could use that type of interaction of that personal foot traffic interaction. So again, kind of going through this list, I mean, increasing email opt-ins, we definitely soar in that revenue, or in that particular regard, in increasing email opt-ins, not only for the station, on the station level, if you're not taking advantage of that, I definitely suggest you do, to help kind of build your email list, but for an email list for your advertisers, it's going to be big. I think I was reading a statistic back during the lockdown and shutdown of everything, that it was 1 in 4 brick and mortar stores that didn't have a digital footprint were forced to kind of go that direction. So a lot of them might have not had an email database that is as robust as they wish that they had. So increasing web traffic, any type of these goals that they're wanting to execute, you absolutely can do within our platform. And if you have a question, chat into our team. That there is no harm at all to ask for, hey, I have this idea, how could this possibly be executed? We want to make sure that we see your success and you thriving while using the platform itself. So, and as I said, increasing that station revenue, right? So you hit those goals and it increases that the opportunities that you have with the advertiser. It helps, build that relationship, and you can even use that relationship to kind of, even ask for referrals, and kind of help grow that and create a network. A lot of you probably have worked with a lot of close advertisers and partners, but there's always new ones popping up that we might not be aware of, that, as you show some success in regards to these online contests and promotions, that you'll be able to kind of help grow there. So, and I've touched on this actually quite recently too, in regards to funneling promotions, and it's the same kind of aspect of like, the sales funnel approach as we think about how we engage with our advertisers and partners. And I myself, I spent 8 years in B2B and enterprise management sales, and so I understand the grind of like identifying, qualifying, help cultivate, and then convert into a client. But it's kind of the same process that that these entry forms are. You know, when someone first enters that promotion, you're funneling them through the promotion itself. You're gaining information, which potentially would turn into a lead for your client. And at the end of the day, that is the end goal, is giving them a golden lead opportunity that they can work on their end to turn into whatever a conversion type is for them. Again, you're taking someone that might not know a company and taking them clear down to saying, yes, I want to look at talking to somebody about my banking needs, or I need to talk to somebody about remodeling my home, and getting that information straight over to an advertiser. So we have the tools available for you to do that, which is wild. You know, we're harnessing that first party data and, you know, really trying to excel to help those advertisers and partners. You know, just as an example of, you know, of a promotion type, you know, this is like a typical sweepstakes. As you see, the goal of this particular sweepstakes is that they are wanting them to participate in a survey. It's an auto dealership that is tied to this promotion. It's very straightforward. You know, we want them maybe to visit their website and even come to the actual dealership for you know, that geolocation tool that, as I referenced. And then even had a call to action at the very end for a chance for, you know, a $10 off next service change or next service that they see. You know, just any type of callback that we can tie within the promotion to help drive that conversion again. I think you'll hear me say that, you know, if even outside of this call, if we had a one-on-one call, I would be talking about conversion types and how we realistically get to that endpoint. Just because I guess I'm just so focused on hitting those goals too. So, but I wanted to point out, you know, on this particular one that it's very minimal on what's being asked, even though they are pretty, you know, taking a survey or vision website and even going to a location. Realistically, I mean, we have so many different options, and I think sometimes, you know, on some promotions I've seen that it's like trying to fit all of these into one promotion. Don't do that. Don't necessarily do that. Find out what's really matters most. You know, there's good, better, and best. You know, is this a good idea? Probably, but is there a best idea or a better idea that you can do within the promotion to either simplify it or to help drive the interaction or the engagement through the process? I've spoken with you know, recent clients that do a really good job at incorporating surveys into their sweepstake formats. And you know, you can combine and do different things within our platform that you might have not thought of before. But again, keeping it simple with the fields that, you know, the field types here. This is kind of like a choose your own adventure book, right? Like you can literally have your advertisers say, hey, you know, this is what's important most, and circle them or whatever. But just make them, or just know that there is ample questions that you can ask. Just find out what is most important to them, and you absolutely can do so. To kind of give you kind of an idea, this is a case study. I actually helped with this particular account and promotion get set up and everything. This promotion actually, it only ran for 10 days, and it was a local credit union. They were just going to give a simple $500 away for people who entered the promotion, and they're looking to obviously grow their membership and whatnot through the credit union and other things too. So for example, like loans and whatnot. But they had over 9,000 unique entries into the promotion itself. And in this particular promotion, they're wanting people to take a survey. And so out of the just over 9,000, 3,900 surveys were taken in this promotion. So I mean, was that like 47% of people who entered actually ended up taking the survey? 12% actually shared on social media, and then you had some increase on Instagram and Facebook as well for the likes there. So again, a great example of the ability of incorporating a survey. So you're not only just building a demographic, you're actually building actual leads that can be passed on. And in this case, they were able to utilize it for themselves. So great opportunity, great way to look at it. So, and then kind of transitioning, you know, with the conversation piece of like, okay, we can hit your goals and this is how we do it. Now the question comes like, okay, we know what's available, but how do we price things out? What are we kind of looking at? So let me look really quick here. Yeah, so going into that, so for example, I kind of price out the sweepstakes because the accounts and that I've seen tend to use sweepstakes the most. There is some legitimacy to use other applications as well, but I'll specifically speak on sweepstakes right now, just in regards to the initial packaging, and then we'll go into the others here in a minute. But I like to view this as kind of a tiered offering. And again, these percentages can fluctuate. I just think with what I have here is just baseline across the board. So for this particular one, this is actually just like a straight email opt-in, really nothing much. You have an advertiser tied to it, and they're purely just wanting to grow maybe an email database. You could do this package for anywhere from 10, 15%, clear up to 25%, because there are some advertisers, again, that 1 in 4 brick and mortar store that was forced to go digital, that it absolutely mattered that they grow a contact list, and that being an email opt-in. So 15 to 25%. For silver, this is I consider silver package, so 25 to 40%. You're going up higher tier frame here. You're going to be building more demographic information on who the users are, phone number, city, zip code, that type of thing. You're growing an email database as well, so anything, what the previous package included, and then you're going to incorporate some key social media aspects. We have Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We have TikTok, we have LinkedIn, some unique ways, actually, really quick, not to go too far off on a tangent, but we had a LinkedIn button as well that's created. We've seen some accounts use that for their partners and advertisers for example, like hiring agencies that wanted to use our platform to upload resumes and a LinkedIn, and they can use that as leads for them. So again, a very unique way of how that was used. But yes, you absolutely can do it. You're really limited by your own creativity, and I know we're all creative. So, but yeah, I mean, great opportunities here. Okay, so gold package. And you're probably wondering, well, what are these percentages? These percentages, just to be very clear, these percentages are what you would typically, for example, for on air. If your on air package is, $1,000 or $2,000, you would add an additional 30, 40%. For example, in this gold package, 40% on top of what you are doing to help make revenue from this, this particular promotion or setup. That way, it's not, oh, we have this on air, and by the way, we'll also do this, and we didn't contribute any revenue towards digital, so that it's just kind of like this added value perspective. Because we realistically know, I've seen it. I've been here for almost 4.5 years. I've seen stations make money with this product. It's tried and true, and kind of stepping away. If you're worried about percentages and stuff, slowly increase it, or maybe tie it into the actual pricing. I don't know, however you want to do it, but just know you can absolutely sell this. So going into the details of this one, it's everything that the other two had with the social fields aspect included, but this is when you're going to start incorporating that geolocation, maybe that digital, that increasing web traffic there, app downloads if they have an app. Obviously ad placement across the entire promotion as well. And then you're going to be able to even tie in email confirmations. So I'll go into that here in a second, as well as integrations. So, all right, one moment. Okay, so email confirmations. So in the past, our email confirmations, typically a promotion would get anywhere from around 2,000, 2,500 email confirmations at no cost. And then after, there was a charge for some of the emails that were being sent out as a confirmation email. As of this year, this is, again, kind of recapping some of the things that we came out with this year. We actually did away with that cost, meaning you can use as many email confirmations as possible per promotion at no cost to you. So why should you include a email confirmation inside of a promotion? Not only that you're able to get right back in front of the user who just recently participated. So for example, this is a oil change, discounted oil change to help kind of drive interaction at the dealership. But it's the overall performance of the promotion itself. So the average open rate on nationwide, there's a company that sends out, I mean, it's millions of emails, and they kind of, they do it for testing and whatnot as well. And so the average open rate was around 17% with a click-through rate of 2.5%. And that click-through rate is when someone just clicks on a link or some type of content within the promotion itself. Our confirmation emails average anywhere from 93 to 97% on a open rate. It's interesting to what has caused that, because initially I said, well, why are we outperforming the national average on open rates? And then it occurred to me that it's very much like when you purchase something on Amazon, right? You get like an order confirmation. You want to make sure it's, everything's good to go. And so, hey, you receive an email. Thank you for entering this chance at, this prize. People will open up that email. Now, what's in the email, that's where you can get creative. I've seen advertisers tie in they were like an e-commerce website that tied in clothing that you could actually purchase on a website. I've seen just a plethora of different ideas to kind of get right back in front of the users. And honestly, it's fantastic. There's never really any complaints on them receiving a, hey, thank you, confirm that they entered a promotion. That's not usually an issue. And with that being said, with that high open rate, we do also have a high click-through rate of 5.9 to 7.2, 7.5%. It's almost double or triple there as well. And again, these are free. And I'll be honest, there's not a lot of accounts that are using it. And the accounts that do, though, the accounts that use this on promotions are seeing some wild success and some stats. And this is something that you can even, when you're having the conversation with your advertiser, saying, hey, listen, we're going to be able to send this confirmation email. And if you wanted to start your own email thing, you could do that afterwards. But with a confirmation email perspective, it just kind of helps separate yourself a little bit and show a little bit of expertise there. So and then stats and reporting, we pride ourselves in the ability for data attribution and transparency here. And so this is readily available for each promotion. And so if you have any questions, you absolutely can get this information from your promotions team. So, and then with our integrations, I've discussed this throughout the year, and I'm sure you guys are probably all tired, or you all are all tired of hearing this. But integrations, it's a great way to get real-time leads and a line of data security with an advertiser. So if an advertiser has, for example, Salesforce, we can send leads directly to them, or maybe it's MailChimp or Campaigner or PostUp, whoever it is at the time. But great opportunities there. This is a newer feature we came out with over the last month or two. Basically, it's a promotion recap email. For sales, I actually touched on this last digital sales training, but I'll touch on it again just because this is great. If you're sales and you don't have access to an account, this promotion recap email, you can basically have your person who's building the promotion just put your email in, and the moment the promotion ends, you get a breakdown of the stats. It's not going to be user information whatsoever, but it will be the overall data points there. And that's going to be nice to have, so you have available if you are having conversations. We did incorporate a dynamic time zone. This is going to be more towards accounts that have maybe like markets with multiple stations, or they're trying to run a promotion across multiple accounts that are in different time zones. So this dynamic time zone, basically what it does is it starts the promotion on the child account's time zone, rather than, for example, if it's an Eastern time, it doesn't just start at Eastern time. If it's 10 o'clock Eastern time and they start the promotion, it would start at 8 a.m. here. No, it would start at the exact same time, or at 10 a.m. here, and stay that dynamic. So a lot of cool abilities there. And then I know we're just about out of time, but I just wanted to show really quick kind of the average sponsor investment. I know this is really text heavy, but I just wanted to point out that our average sponsor investment on galleries are anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. This galleries are utilized for visual leads, and so think of ways that you could use, whether it's home makeovers or home remodels or things like that. Absolutely. Sports and brackets, there is a monster of investment that goes into these. It can go up to $10,000. I've seen some of those, but easily $4,000, $5,000 plus, because for a pro pick'em that runs for, was it 17 weeks or 18 weeks? So a long time. Surveys and polls, total sponsor investment on this. And this sales deck will be emailed out, so all of this will be readily available to you. But this is anywhere from baseline $2,500, or if your advertiser, if you wanted, you can sell it per lead. So it's per qualified lead for your advertiser. Survey conditionals. I will say though, on our surveys, one of the coolest features, and I'm just wrapping this up here as well, just so you know, so there's not much more time here, but for survey conditionals, I will say this point, instead of just asking a very static 1 through 10 questions, you could ask a series of questions based on response. So if someone owns a home, are they renting or owning? If they're looking to move, what's their household income? And based on their response, you could have the survey end immediately, or have them continue through, giving you the lead that you are wanting from there. So quizzes, great opportunity. Just makes a simple quiz. We have tried a bunch of plug and play quizzes templates that are created that you can use, and that's an easy $1,000 investment on those ones as well. And speaking of templates, we have those available. So as I talked about, Idea Studio as well. Here are the resources for that. There's help.aptivada.com as well as the Idea Studio. If you have questions, you can definitely either chat in as well, and we can make sure that we facilitate them. But other than that, that's today's presentation. So let's go ahead and draw the the winner for the $100 Amazon gift card. Again, that link was in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and, one second here. I'm going to choose a winner now. And this is great. This will be perfect. All right, Mr. Dan Chaffee. You do have to be here to win. So if you, Dan, if you can raise your hand, that would be great. Saying that you're here. Oh, 1 second. Perfect. Dan, we'll get that that gift card sent out to you right after this call. And again, for everyone else with that link, there was that chance to give us your information. We'll give you a Starbucks gift card. If you were here and you weren't able to give us that information, just feel free to chat at the bottom right corner of our website if you wanted to chat in, and we can get you that shipped out as well. It has been a wild, fast, crazy year, and I'm honestly really excited to see what happens at the beginning of next year and going into 2022. But just know you have resources available here, me, myself, included in that, with conversation pieces to help with the station revenue. I'm definitely invested in that. So other than that, thank you so much for attending today. I hope you have a happy holidays and Merry Christmas, and just enjoy the last couple weeks. So, all right, thank you, everyone.